Okay, so in the last lecture, we have started discussion on inventory control, inventory management. Okay, and we have discussed what is meant by inventory, then what are the different types of inventory that we have discussed in the last lecture. Also, what are the different benefits of inventory management that also we have discussed in the last lecture. So today, in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the inventory control. What is meant by inventory control? Okay. So control we required whenever there is a inculcation of a money or a cost. And to maintain the inventory, we need to invest on that. Okay. We need to invest we need to do the capital investment on purchasing or storing the product. Okay, so if you are doing the inventory of materials, raw materials, then in that case you require uh, uh, capital to purchase the goods. And if you are maintaining the inventory of a finished goods, in that case you required the capital to do the processes on your products, on raw materials, to complete the finished goods and to store that good. Okay, so here the cost or the money is inculcated in this activity of a inventory. So the if we go for more inventory, or more more in the sense that more than required, then the capital of the industry will get blocked. And if you go less inventory, then in that case there will be problem related to the customer satisfaction or fulfilling the demand of a customer, or there will be problem related to the production. Okay, because if you are maintaining the inventory, raw material inventory, less than the required, then in that case the production will not run with a full capacity. Okay, so there will be impact on a production processes also. Now here the inventory control is one kind of a planned approach to determine what to order. Okay, kya aapko order karna hai, and when we need to order, and how much to order. Okay, so that things, okay, capital of the industry will be optimized, or we can say that the capital blockage of industry will get minimized. Okay, so inventory control is one kind of a planned approach or scientific approach to determine what to order, when to order, and how much to order. Okay, and out of ordered thing, how much one should stock, so that the cost associated with buying, storing are optimal without interrupting production and sales. Okay, without interrupting production and sales. So if this inventory control is implemented um, for the raw material inventory, then the production activities will be uninterrupted. And if this implemented for the finished good inventory, then the sales processes or the demand will be fulfilled. Okay, so inventory control is basically deals with two problems. One is nothing but when should an order to be placed, kab aapko order place karni hai. Okay, and second thing is nothing but how much should be ordered in that how much quantity should be ordered in that particular placed order. Okay, so that is nothing but when should an order to be placed and how much should be order quantity. Okay, so when को क्या बोलेंगे आप, ऑर्डर लेवल बोलेंगे. ओके, कब आपको भेजनी है ऑर्डर, उसको ऑर्डर लेवल बोलेंगे. और हाउ मच को आप क्या बोलोगे, ऑर्डर क्वांटिटी बोलोगे. ओके, हाउ मच से आपको आंसर क्या मिलता है, ऑर्डर क्वांटिटी. कितने ऑर्डर क्वांटिटी आपको मंगानी है, नहीं तो प्रोक्यूर करनी है. सो दैट इज नथिंग बट हाउ मच शुड बी ऑर्डर. नाउ these two questions, whenever these two questions are arises, at that time one should take the help of a inventory models. Okay, and these inventory models are used to control the inventory. Okay, so there are number of inventory models are there, and these inventory models are used to control the inventory, or it will be one kind of an ecosystem which have the control over the inventory. Okay, so these models are one kind of a scientific technique. Okay, and they tries to balance between the loss due to non-availability of items of carrying the stock of an item. Okay, so जब ये क्या vary करता है और क्या कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश करता है, जब आपको प्रोडक्ट नहीं है तब जितना लॉस होगा, ओके, और जब आपका प्रोडक्ट स्टॉक में है उस पर कितनी इन्वेस्टमेंट होगी. ओके, सो इन दो चीजों में कंट्रोल रखने के लिए, इन दोनों चीजों का लॉस मिनिमम रखने के लिए, सो बोथ आर डिफरेंट थिंग. इफ you don't have the capacity, or if you don't have the inventory, then you'll also get the loss. And if you carry the more number of inventory, then also you'll get a loss. Okay, so both the things are opposite, and both are having creating the loss for the industry only. So here these inventory models are useful to reduce the losses due to non-availability of items, and also the losses due to maintaining the large number of stocks or required number of stock. Okay, so for that purpose, a scientific inventory control aims at a maintaining optimal level of a stock of a good required by the company at a minimum cost to the company. Okay, here the scientific inventory control क्या उद्देश्य रखता है कि आपका स्टॉक लेवल ऑप्टिमल रहना चाहिए. ऑप्टिमल मतलब ना कि आपको ज्यादा लॉस हो, ओके, और आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट भी फुलफिल हो जाए. सो दैट थिंग इज नथिंग बट ऑप्टिमल लेवल. ओके, सो हियर इन्वेंट्री ट्राइज टू reduce the losses. Okay, or inventory control systems or inventory control models try to reduce the losses which are happening due to non-availability also, or due to overstocking also, or overbought inventories also. So that two things need to be minimal. Okay, and these models also tries to reduce the cost associated with these two things only. Okay, then what are the different objectives of inventory control? So one is nothing but to ensure the adequate supply of products to the customer and avoid the shortage as far as possible. So this is the most important thing in the industries, that components should be available to the customer, or product should be available to the customer at a required time period or at a given time period by following the commitments. And then to make sure that the financial investment in the inventories is minimum. As we have discussed, the cost is associated with the both the things. One is nothing but non-availability of a material also make you loss, and the overbought inventory or over stocked inventory, that also measures the losses for the company. So here your objective is to reduce these losses, and your objective is to reduce the blockage of capital of any industry. So here to see that the working capital is blocked to minimum possible extent. So here the objective is to reduce the blockage of capital investment, or we can say that the cash flow of that particular industry. Then here the inventory control systems tries to ensure the efficient purchasing, then tries to ensure the efficient storing and efficiently consumption, also tries to accounting for materials and their counting. Okay, so these also important because purchasing should be efficient. Okay, the cost is associated. The storage should also be efficient one, because overhead charges comes on that particular storage. Then consumption should be efficient. How we can say that the consumption is efficient or not? If you are reducing the material requirement for the production purpose, or if you are reducing the rejection chances of any product, and you are fulfilling the requirements according to the customer needs, then in that case the consumption of that particular raw materials or finished goods will be considered as efficiently consumed. And Also it accounting for the materials is an important objective. Okay, accounting of a materials means what? How much number of products are stored. That is nothing but accounting of a material. So anyhow you have to take the follow up of that thing. Okay, so if you know how much material is available in the stock, then and then only you can go for the purchase of the new material, or you can place the orders. So here on a continuous basis you require the accounting for the materials which is in the stock, and that will be available from this particular inventory control system also. Okay, then to maintain timely record of inventories of all the items and to maintain the stock with the desired limits. Now here you can see that in the industries, the raw materials or the finished product goods or bought out spare parts, the list of such a spare part is more than 100, more than 1,000, and to maintain the record of all the things will be so much complicated, and for that purpose you require sufficient facilities or sufficient systems, so that they maintain all these things. Okay, then whenever there is a time period, or whenever one of the material stock is reduced below the safety level, at that time the replenishment action should be come to in picture. Okay, or replenishment action should be started. Replenishment means filling once again. Okay, if stock level or the particular material stock level goes below the safety level or below the safety stock, at that time the replenishment action need to take, or we have to fill up, we have to purchase same products from the market, and we have to maintain at least safety level. Okay, or safety stock level. Okay, so here the inventory control system that also ensured, okay, when to start the replenishment action, so that will also taken care by the inventory control systems. Then to provide a reserve stock for variation in lead times of a delivery of a material. Now this reserve, what is the meaning of a reserve stock, or what is the meaning of a safety stock? That will be useful whenever there is a peak period time or peak period in the market, or whenever there is a sudden demand of a product in the market. So at that time these reserve stocks or the safety stocks will be used, and or if it is the situation that the particular stock material is not available for next 1 month or next 15 days in the market, so in that case also we can use that particular safety stock, and we can fulfill the requirements of a production department also, or we can fulfill the requirements of a customer also. Then to provide a scientific base for both short term and long term planning of a materials. Now here planning concept is once again comes in the picture. In the last lecture also, in the last chapter also, we have discussed about the material requirement planning. Okay, and for that material requirement planning, one of the input is related to the inventory files. Okay, so that input will be provided by this particular inventory control systems only. Okay, so it also provides the scientific base for both short term and long term planning of a materials. Okay, it also provides the scientific basis for the short term and long term planning. Then what are the different benefits of an inventory control? As we have discussed, what are the objectives? So same objectives will be reflected as a benefit. Now here one point is mentioned that nearly 10 to 40% of inventory one can reduce by using the inventory control models. Okay, by using the inventory control models means 10 to 40% of money of any industry blocked in that particular inventories, and that money can be unblocked by using inventory control system. So how it will be happen? If you implement the inventory control system properly, then this 10 to 40% of money that is blocked in stocking the products or raw materials, that will get unblocked. Then the benefits of inventory control are improvement in customer relationship because of the timely delivery of goods and services, then smooth and uninterrupted production, and hence no stock out, then efficient utilization of working capital, then helps in minimizing loss due to the deterioration or obsolescence damage, and pre-leverage. Now here, what is meant by deterioration? Deterioration means the functions of particular product will not work as per the requirement, or it will not perform. Particular product will not perform according to its function. Okay, so, and obsolescence, we can say that if you have stored a lot of maintain lot of inventory of a particular good, but suddenly or for the longer time period, if you say that there is a change happen about that product in your production line, or there is a sudden loss of a demand of particular product in the market, so in that case that product will be obsoleted from the market, and that will be damage for your profit, or that will be makes loss for the industry. Then pre-leverage, so some of the components will get lost, okay, or चोरी होणे आपण म्हणतो, चोरी होणे. So that thing is also happening in the industries. So that should be avoided, or the control will not be that much when the inventory level is high. Okay, and to avoid this or to minimize these losses, this inventory control systems are beneficial. Then to implement the economy in the purchasing. Economy in the purchasing means what? Again, once again, that particular same thing. Purchasing economy will be in a such a manner that if you place the number of orders, more number of orders, then your ordering cost will get increases. Okay, and if you place them less number of orders, in that case your storage cost will get increased. Okay, so two costs are more important in the inventory. One is nothing but ordering cost, and second one is nothing but a storage cost. So if your quantity increased per order, then your ordering cost will get reduced, but the storage cost will get increased. And if the quantity decrease per order, then ordering cost get increases, and storage cost get decreases. Now here you need to balance that two things, and you need to form the economical order quantity. Okay, so in upcoming lecture you are going to discuss that, we are going to discuss that also. So you have to focus on economical batch quantity, so that the ordering cost will be optimum, and we can say that inventory cost will get also optimum. So that will be called as a economy in purchasing. Then eliminating the possibilities of duplicate ordering. Sometimes what will happen, you have ordered something now today, but you did not consider the actual demand of a market, and you without considering the demand from the production department, you have ordered some raw material today, and then you come to know that the actual demand of a market get increased, and for that reason you have to order more number of raw material or more number of products, or you have to store more number of products according to the market situation. So in that case you have to provide the another order to purchase that product or to store more number of goods. Okay, so here that order, okay, similar kind of order will be considered as a duplicate ordering. Okay, and these possibilities are there that duplicate ordering happen, and cost is associated with that duplicate ordering. So once again you have to perform all the process once again, and you have to perform, or we have to purchase that particular products from the market, or you have to store the number of products, and you have to sell out that products. Okay, so here because of inventory control or inventory management, proper inventory management, you are able to reduce that duplicate possibility of a duplicate ordering. Okay, you are able to reduce the possibility of duplicate ordering. Then what are the various costs are associated with inventory? Okay, first is nothing but a purchase cost or a product cost. It is also called as a product cost. Now, whatever the cost of a product, if you want to buy something, so cost of that particular product will be considered as a purchase cost. Okay, will be considered as purchase cost, and it will be mentioned in a per unit price. Okay, let us consider that 1 kg of iron, wrought iron, having the cost of 80 rupees. So it will be considered as 80 rupees per kg. Okay, so whenever there is a discounting cost, Okay, so that thing is significant while dealing with the purchase cost. Okay, whenever um, uh, any customer required the discounting, so that customer want the discounting on each product. Okay, so the bulk purchase is there, so at that time this purchase cost is very much significant. Now the second one is nothing but capital cost. So it is the interesting cost. If you say that this is the interesting one cost, because this cost will be considered as an interest rate. Okay, this cost will be considered as an interest rate, or whatever the cost required to perform this first task, that is nothing but purchasing. Let us consider that you purchased one of the product with 100 rupees price. Okay, and you purchase that thing. Okay, and you stock that particular thing. Okay, now you have given the 100 rupees to the sales shopkeeper. Okay, now that 100 rupees not with you. Okay, similarly the companies purchase something, and that money is not with the company, but company thinking in such a manner that if I will not purchase that particular product, and if I invested that particular money into different things like share market, like mutual fund, then from there I will get at least 6 to 7% return. Okay, or I will keep that money in the FDs, so I will get 6% of interest rate every year. So that interest rate, okay, is miss out by the company. Okay, that interest rate will be miss out by the company, because the investment company made the investment in purchasing the products. Okay, purchasing the products. So because of that, that money is invested in that inventory, and company miss out the whatever income from the investment of FD, investment in FD, or investment in a mutual fund, or anything else. Okay, so that miss out cost or the interest, okay, or the earning will be considered as a capital cost. So that cost is also considered in a inventory carrying cost. Okay, or inventory cost. Okay, then third thing is nothing but, third type of a cost is ordering cost, or it is also called as a procurement cost or the replenishment cost. Okay, so there are three names for this particular cost, that is ordering cost, procurement cost, or the replenishment cost. Okay, so what is meant by ordering cost? Now here we need to take care of all the things or aspects of ordering cost. Now consider, if anyone want to purchase something, what you do, you go to the shopkeeper and you purchase whatever you want. Okay, but it is not happening in the industry like this way, in a simple manner. Here, first of all, if you have some requirement in the industry, at that time you have to come up with the notice. Okay, and you have to take the follow-up of that particular notice. You have to take the permission from your head of the department, or your plant manager. Okay, or operation manager. And if that operation manager given the green signal to that purchase, then you need to call the quotations. Okay, so you need to call the quotation to from your parties, or from vendors who are going to supply that particular product. Then you have to make the comparison of that, all the things and all the requirements. Okay, after doing the comparison, you have to select the suitable supplier. Okay, and then you have to create the order for that supplier, and then you have to provide that order to the supplier, and then supplier supplies material to your company. Okay, so this is the hectic process in the purchasing. Okay, this is too much hectic process in the purchasing, and manpower is involved, skilled manpower is involved in that particular process. Then we can say that after providing the order, the material will be transported to the to your company. Then counting of that particular material, then the workers unloading that material from the transportation to the your store department. All that things having some cost. Okay, manpower is involved, then skilled unskilled manpower, skilled manpower, paperwork is involved. So all this cost associated with the ordering of the material or purchasing of the material, that all the cost will be considered under the ordering cost. Getting that all the cost is considered under the ordering cost. Now this ordering cost is divided into two parameters. One is nothing but fixed cost and second is nothing but variable cost. Now fixed cost, if you consider that if the accountant is on payroll, okay, is on payroll, and he means on-roll workers are there. Some are on-roll workers are there in the industry, and they are performing their task on continuous basis. So the salary related to that person will be considered as a fixed cost. Okay. Now the unloading persons, workers which are working in the store department, these workers not on payroll of a company, okay, or these workers are contract basis workers, and according to the type of unloading or number of a quantity of unloading, number of purchased products, on that basis workers which will perform the task of unloading, that will be vary. Okay, so that cost of a worker, okay, non-payroll or those are not on a payroll of a company, so such a worker cost will be considered under the variable cost. Okay, so I'm giving the one example. Such a things also happening in the purchasing. Okay, so purchasing means the accountant or accounting processes are there, okay, calling the quotations, then preparing we can say that preparing the comparatives, then providing the order. All these things comes under the purchasing section or accounting section. So that will one kind of a cost. Then inspection, after receiving the material, counting after receiving the material, the quality checking of that particular material is nothing but an inspection, and cost associated with that will be considered as an inspection cost. Then accounting. Okay, so here we can say that measuring number of products, okay, and keeping that in, at the proper level, so that will be considered as accounting. And transportation cost means transporting the material from one location to the another location, that will be considered as a transportation cost. Okay, so these all the costs are involved in ordering cost. Okay, then fourth number of cost which is associated with the inventory, that is nothing but inventory carrying cost or the holding cost. एक जगह पर इन्वेंट्री रखने के लिए क्या क्या कॉस्ट एसोसिएट हो सकती है, सो दैट इज नथिंग बट इन्वेंट्री कैरिंग कॉस्ट. एंड द लास्ट वन इज नथिंग बट शॉर्टेज कॉस्ट. शॉर्टेज आने पर क्या क्या कॉस्ट एसोसिएट हो सकते हैं उस पर, सो दैट विल बी कंसिडर्ड एज अ शॉर्टेज कॉस्ट. Now this fourth one and fifth one we will discuss in detail now. Inventory carrying cost. Okay, so let us consider that for storage purpose we have taken one of the store department or one of the warehouse on a lease. Okay, and to for that reason you have to pay the rent to that warehouse warehouse owner. Then to maintain the proper lighting system or air conditioning system, if the perishable goods are there or food industry is there, in that case you require some ventilations or air conditioning systems at that location, so that charges will comes under the storage cost. Okay, one is nothing but rent, then heating or ventilations, then next thing is nothing but electricity. Okay, so that will comes under the storage cost. Okay, and storage cost comes under the inventory carrying cost. Then handled cost. Okay, so if you want to move the material from one location to another location, or if you want to move the material from warehouse to your company location, so that handling cost or material moving cost, so that will be comes under the handled cost. So cost associated with moving the items such as cost of labor, equipment, or handling instruments. Okay, so that will comes under the handling cost, and handling cost comes under the inventory carrying cost. Then next thing is nothing but depreciation, taxes, and insurances. Okay, so we know that if the workers are working, we need to take care of that workers, and we have to insure their life at that location. So companies want to insure their lives of all the workers, so insurance cost will be involved in that. So taxes are there. Okay, so then depreciations are there. Depreciation means what? if you purchase something now, its cost will not be same after 1 year, after 1.5 year, or after 2 year, 3 year. So the cost of machines are going to decrease. Okay, the costs of machines are going to decrease after some time period. Let us say you have bought out one bike, and its cost is nearly about 1 lakh rupees. So it will not be same after 1 year. Its cost will be 80,000, 70,000. So that 30,000 rupees will be considered as the depreciation cost. Okay. Then the next cost associated with the inventory carrying cost is nothing but cost on record keeping. You have to maintain the record, and for that purpose you have to put up one PC, then one accountant or one worker or one employee who will perform that particular task. So that also the cost which is associated with the inventory, and that cost will be considered as a cost on record keeping. Then product deterioration or obsolescence. Okay, so deterioration means it will not work as per the required things. Okay, and obsolescence means it will be outdated from the market. So the losses related to that will also comes under the inventory carrying cost. Then spoilage. Okay, if your storage is related to the perishable goods, okay, or the farm products, okay, or the perishable goods is most suitable word for that. Then if that products will get spoiled, so that cost will also related to the inventory carrying cost. Then breakage, if that products will get breaked, okay, so breakage cost. If that product thief or pilferage, okay, चोरी हो गया है, वो product चोरी हो गया है, so that will be considered as a loss. And then loss due to the perishable. Okay, some products are perishable products. Okay, so after 1 week it will not have that much good quality. Okay, like apple, if you take the storage of apple, storage of banana, storage of pomegranate, so these products or these materials are perishable materials, and it is having some kind of a lifespan, and after that time it will not be usable. Okay, so such a products, or we can say that the consumables, okay, will be considered under this perishable products, and if they are outdated, the cost related to that loss will becomes under the inventory carrying cost. So all these costs comes under the inventory carrying cost or the holding cost. आपने inventory रखी तो उस पर क्या क्या costs आ सकते हैं, so that are listed over here. So these all the costs are related to the inventory carrying cost. Then fifth type of cost is nothing but a shortage cost. Let us consider that there is a peak time period in the market, and there is lot of demand for your product in the market, but you have not maintained appropriate inventory level. Because of that there is nothing available to fulfill the demand of a customer. So in that case you get the shortage. Okay, there is not a non-availability of a product in the market, that is nothing but a shortage. Okay, so at the time of a shortage, what do you have to do? Okay, you may lose your customer, you may lose your future sale, you may lose your customer goodwill. Okay, then in that period, whatever the orders you have received, you have to perform that orders after the peak time period. So that will be called as a back order cost. Okay, then maybe your revenue will be decreased, and you may lose your profit. Okay, so that cost will be associated with the shortage cost. Okay, that cost will be associated with the shortage cost. Okay, all the such costs will be considered as a shortage cost. Okay, so these are the different types of a cost that we are going to that we have discussed, and that comes under the inventory management. Then what are the different terminologies that we need to understand before going for inventory models? Okay, so first is nothing but a demand. Okay, what is meant by demand? So it is the number of items or products required per unit of a time. Okay, the demand may be either deterministic or probabilistic in nature. So per day, how much products are required? Okay, or per day, how much sale is there? So that will be considered as a demand. Okay, number of items or products रिक्वायर्ड पर यूनिट टाइम, पर डे, पर मंथ, एक मंथ में कितना सेल है, 6 मंथ में कितना सेल है, पर डे में कितना सेल है, एक साल में कितना सेल है. सो दैट विल बी नथिंग बट अ demand of a particular product in the market. Okay, so this demand may be deterministic or probabilistic. You know actually what is the demand. Okay, that means deterministic. Probabilistic means we are thinking like, or you are having the faith in a such a manner, probability is there that after 1 year demand of this particular product will be this much one. Okay, and for that reason we have to increase our production. So that demand will be considered as a probabilistic demand. Then second terminology is order cycle. Okay, so order cycle means the time period between the two successive orders is called the order cycle. दो ऑर्डर के बीच का टाइम उसको क्या बोलेंगे, ऑर्डर साइकिल. नाउ यू हैव गिवन वन ऑर्डर and after 10 minutes you have given the next order. Okay, so the time interval between that two orders will be considered as a order cycle. The time period between two successive orders is called order cycle. The third terminology is lead. Okay, lead means what? Lead means what? The length of time between placing an order and receipt of an item is called lead time. Okay, now here you have to consider that you have given one order. Okay, you have placed one order and after 15 minutes you received that order. Okay, or whatever you have ordered that received after 15 minutes. Okay, so the 15-minute time period in between your order, given order and received order. Okay, that in between that 15-minute time period is there, and that 15-minute time period will be considered as a lead time. In a similar fashion in the industries, when the orders are placed and receipt of a material, okay, this time period will be considered as a 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 1 week. Okay, so that much time period will be considered as a lead time. Okay, lead time. Then fourth important terminology is related to the safety stock. So safety stock is also called as a buffer stock or a minimum stock level. So at which we should start the replenishment action. We have to take the replenishment action. So such a level or such a quantity will be considered as a safety stock. So whenever there is a peak period of time or peak period for the particular product in the market, that is nothing but large orders are coming during that time period. So at that time period, this buffer stock is very much useful. So it is, safety stock is also called as a buffer stock or a minimum stock level. It is the stock or inventory needed to account for a delay in material supply and to account for a sudden increase in demand due to rush orders. Then fifth terminology is inventory turnover. Let us consider that you need to perform the replenishment action after every 3 months. Okay, so how many times you need to replenish or you need to fulfill the complete inventory within a year? Okay, how much time you need to fulfill or you need to fill up the inventory completely, okay, or your storage department completely in a 1 year time period. Okay, so if you required if you need to perform the replenishment action after 3 months, then in that case your inventory turnover will be considered as a 4 time. Okay, 3 महिन्यानंतर जर तुम्ही इन्व्हेंटरी पुनर्भरण करत असाल तर वर्षातून किती वेळा करणार तुम्ही? 4 वेळा करणार. राईट, वर्षातून किती वेळा करणार? 4 वेळा करणार. जर 2 महिन्यातून तुम्ही रिप्लेनिशमेंट ऍक्शन घेत असाल किंवा पुनर्भरणाची ऍक्शन घेत असाल तर वर्षातून किती वेळा करणार तुम्ही? 6 वेळा करणार. सो दॅट इज नथिंग. 6 टाइम्स विल बी कन्सिडर्ड ऍज अ इन्व्हेंटरी टर्नओव्हर इफ यू आर टेकिंग द रिप्लेनिशमेंट ऍक्शन आफ्टर एव्हरी 2 months, and 4 times will be considered as a inventory turnover if you are doing the replenishment action after every 3 months. Okay, so the inventory turnover, if the company maintain inventory equal to 3 month consumption, it means that inventory turnover is 4 times a year. That is, the entire inventory is used up and replaced 4 times a year. Then sixth important terminology is nothing but reorder level. Okay, so it is the level in the inventory or minimum number of a quantity where the replenishment action should be start. Okay, so that level will be considered as a reorder level. Okay, so it is the point at which the replenishment action is initiated. When the stock level reaches the ROL, the order is placed for the item. Okay, सेफ्टी स्टॉक के ऊपर ROL होता है, समझ लीजिएगा, सेफ्टी स्टॉक के ऊपर ROL होता है. जब भी स्टॉक की लेवल ROL तक आ जाए तब ऑर्डरिंग की प्रोसेस चालू की जाए. कंसीडर कीजिएगा 2 दिन ऑर्डर के लिए लग जाते हैं और ऑर्डर प्लेस करने के लिए ऑल द फॉर्मेलिटीज कंप्लीट करने के बाद 2 दिन ऑर्डर देने के लिए लगते हैं. सो दैट 2 days टाइम पीरियड will sufficient to reach the stock level to the safety stock level. Okay, so ROL is the limit where you can start the order process. Okay, you can start the order process. So reorder level, it is the point at which the replenishment action is initiated. When the stock level reaches the ROL, the order is placed to the items. Okay, then 7th is reorder quantity. Okay, now here reorder level, आपको ऑर्डर कब देना है ये कहां से पता है होता है आपको, reorder level. Now how much quantity should be ordered? Okay, so that is nothing but reorder quantity. So this is the quantity of a material or the items to be ordered at the reorder level. Okay, normally this quantity is equal to the economic order quantity or economic batch quantity. Okay, getting everyone? Is there any doubt, any question up till now? Is there any doubt, any question? Okay, so write down inventory control. Inventory control. Inventory control. Inventory control. In that, write down inventory control is planned approach. Inventory control is a planned approach of determining what to order, what to order when to order and how much to order. Inventory control is planned approach of determining what to order, when to order, and how much to order, and how much to stock, so that costs associated with buying, associated with buying and storing are optimal without interrupting production and sale. Are optimal without interrupting production and sales. Next point, inventory control basically deals with two problems. Inventory control basically deals with two problems. First one is, when should an order be placed? In bracket order level. And second one is, how much should be ordered? In bracket order quantity. Next point, these questions are answered These questions are answered by the use of inventory models. These questions are answered by the use of inventory models. By the use of inventory models. Next point. The scientific inventory control system, the scientific inventory control system strikes the balance. The scientific inventory control system strikes the balance between the loss due to non-availability, of an items of carrying the stock of an inventory, item. Next point, scientific inventory control aims at maintaining optimum level of stock. Scientific inventory control aims at maintaining optimum level of stock of goods required by the company at minimum cost to the company. Okay, over. The next point, write down objectives of inventory control. Objectives of inventory control. Objectives of inventory control. In that first point, to ensure adequate supply of products, to customer, and avoid shortage as far as possible. Then second one, to make sure that the financial investment in inventories is minimum. That is, in bracket, that is to see that the working capital is blocked to the minimum possible extent. Bracket complete, full stop. Third one, efficient purchasing, comma storing, comma consumption, efficient purchasing, comma storing, comma consumption, and accounting for materials, is an important objective. The next, to maintain timely record of inventories, to maintain timely record of inventories of all the items, of all the items, of all the items, and to maintain the stock, and to maintain the stock within the desired limit, and to maintain the stock within the desired limit. The next one, to ensure timely action for replenishment, to ensure timely action for replenishment. Timely action for replenishment. Timely action for replenishment. The next one, to provide a reserved stock, to provide a reserved stock for variation in lead time, to provide a reserved stock for variation in lead times, to provide a reserved stock for variation in lead times of delivery of materials, of delivery of materials, of delivery of materials. Then next one, to provide a scientific base for, to provide a scientific base for both short-term and long-term planning, to provide scientific base for both short-term and long-term planning of materials, to provide scientific base for short-term and long-term planning for materials. Okay. The next, benefits of inventory control. Benefits of inventory control. Benefits of inventory control. In that you can write, it is an established fact that, it is an established fact that, it is an established fact that through the practice of scientific inventory control, through the practice of scientific inventory control, comma, the stocks can be reduced, the stocks can be reduced between 10% to 40%, between 10% to 40%, stock can be reduced between 10% to 40%. Next, the benefits of inventory control are, the benefits of inventory control are, first one, improvement in customer relationship, improvement in customer relationship, because of improvement in customer relationship, because of the timely delivery of goods and services, because of the timely delivery of goods and services, because of the timely delivery of goods and services. Second one, smooth and uninterrupted production, smooth and uninterrupted production, smooth and uninterrupted production, and hence no stock out, smooth and uninterrupted smooth and uninterrupted production, and hence no stock out. Then third one is efficient utilization of working capital, efficient utilization of working capital. The next, helps in minimizing loss due to deterioration, helps in minimizing loss due to deterioration, loss due to deterioration, comma, obsolescence, deterioration, comma, obsolescence, damage, obsolescence and damage, obsolescence damage, and pre-life rage, and pre-life rage, and pre-life rage, and pre-life rage. Full stop. Fifth one, economy in purchasing, economy in purchasing, economy in purchasing, economy in purchasing. Then sixth one, eliminates the possibility of duplicate ordering, eliminates the possibility of duplicate ordering, eliminates the possibility of duplicate ordering. Okay, so last, write down cost associated with inventory, cost associated with inventory, cost associated with inventory. First, purchase cost or production cost. Okay, if it is related to the raw material, then it will be purchase cost, and if it is related to the finished goods, then it will be considered as a production cost. Okay, purchase or production cost. Then second one, capital cost, capital cost. Hope you understood this meaning of capital cost. Okay, second one is capital cost. Third one is ordering cost. Okay, ordering cost. It also called as a procurement cost or replenishment cost. Okay, it also called as a procurement cost or replenishment cost, ordering cost. In that you can write there are two types of cost. There are two types of cost: fixed cost and variable cost. Okay, fixed cost and variable cost. Okay, so there are different types of cost associated with the ordering cost. First one is purchasing. First one is purchasing. Second one is inspection. Purchasing. Second one is inspection. Third one is accounting. Third one is accounting. And fourth one is transportation cost. Transportation cost. Fourth type of cost is inventory carrying cost. Inventory carrying costs. Inventory carrying cost. And fifth one is shortage cost. Fifth one is shortage cost. Okay, we'll stop here for the today. The remaining points we will discuss in the next lecture. Okay, if you have any doubt, any question, you can ask, or else you can put up your roll numbers in the chat box and you can leave this meeting.